play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bombs going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob Stasnico gonna find Rainer.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host, Aero, tonight, and I'm joined by none other than Murda. Welcome, Murda.
What's up? If you guys at home don't know, we just got done casting a heroic div match over on my channel. Glad to be joining you here, Aero.
Really excited about this. This is the first time I've had Murda over on my channel, and for the first time I was on as a caster on his channel earlier, so fun times here.
Yeah, I can do all the goofy stuff here and not feel bad, so that's always fun.
Exactly. Well, here, just real quick, because these teams are ready to go, let's take a look at what our map bans were. From Bloodbath and Beyond, we banned out the Dragonshire and Braxis holdout. No, sorry, had that backwards. That's Waiting on Cherry. Both teams are red, so I get confused. Waiting on Cherry banned out Braxis and Dragonshire. Tomb of the Spider Queen and Infernal Shrines were banned out from Bloodbath and Beyond, and our first pick is Volskaya Foundry, so no Infernal Shrines for us this game.
Well, hey, I like Volskaya. This is a fun one. Haven't seen it yet today. Did we see it today? I don't think we saw it on your channel, did we? Or maybe one game we did.
It feels like it was so long ago, but yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the very first game of the day. Let me go shut him up. Hey, come here. Relax.
Make sure you're throwing all your doggy emotes in chat. If you're not already subbed to Aero, I don't know what you're waiting on. You need those dog emotes. Hit the sub button right now. That includes you, Turd Herder. I see you out there without a sub icon.
Oh my.
Slap that sub button right now, Turd. What are you waiting for?
Man, we got Hype Master Murda over here. Now I'm feeling
B-Med
bad
in the
that I
house
wasn't...
as well. Shout out to B-Med.
I needed to be more aggressive about my sub sales here for
If
Murda.
you don't sub, I'm gonna delete your Hearthstone account. That's what I
Oh
thought.
no!
All your cards are gonna get dusted.
I mean, you know, that might not be a terrible thing. Set up for the new expansion.
Maybe I'm being a little too aggressive on your channel. I'll tone it down, Eric.
Well, that's all right. So this is, you know, we couldn't go any farther in the division levels here, going from heroic all the way down to Div D, and we're gonna get some differences here. I don't expect to see quite the same draft priorities and draft comps out of these guys. What do you think?
Well, Volskaya, I think we could maybe see a few of the heroes that overlap towards the heroic division. I think one of them, most notably, is Johanna. There she is, banned out. And the second one, Arrow, that I'm looking for in this draft is Junkrat. I think Division D, heroic division, I think he's a hero that a lot of players are comfortable on. And this is a fantastic map for Junkrat.
And you know, another one that that comes to mind, and I expect to see it right here in the bans, is Kael'thas.
Oh, look at that Turd hitting the sub button for you.
Look at it. You know what? I gotta have Murda here more often.
Yeah, I'll expect my check later, Arrow, okay?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I tell you what, I'll gift a sub on your channel.
Beautiful.
All right.
Johanna band and then a Kael'thas band there for Waiting on Cherry.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. You know, you did mention the Junkrat, but Kael'thas does very similar things in the poke damage that he can provide with his living bombs, and forcing teams to have to spread apart on these control points.
Absolutely. Second ban here will be Li Ming for Bloodbath and Beyond.
Yeah, and that's in a similar fashion. We saw how she could perform here with the Varianton earlier, and she just does a lot of work.
So the reason I love her on this map is because you can actually go orb build and it's not that bad. I think Li Ming, a lot of new stuff with like that Aether Walker at 1 I've been seeing more of. I think an interesting hero that will continue to climb up the meta throughout season.
And it's going to be the Sylvanas as the final ban. And, you know, you mentioned that orb build. I've seen a lot of orb build, not just in the maps like Volskaya Foundry, but pretty much everywhere. With the change that they made to that level 4 talent. Triumvirate, I think is what it is. That can't be right. But anyways, it's going to be Thrall as the first pick here for the Bloodbath and Beyond.
We haven't seen a lot of early Thrall picks. We have seen some Thrall pick, but a first pick Thrall not as common. This will be picked up by Rackham though. Garrosh and Anduin, the selection for Darth Cherrywood and Death Punisher.
You know, and I gotta say, the interactions between some of these heroes when they load into the games, really enjoyable. And Anduin and Garrosh had some interaction in the Warcraft arena. In some ways, quite literally the arena up there in the Trial of Crusader. But it's going to be ETC and Chromie coming in, a couple of other Warcraft heroes. So, is it all Warcraft all the time today?
I have who is this? Who is this little girl that just got drafted?
I don't know.
Is she new?
I don't know, but let me tell you, the last time that I played a Garrosh against a Chromie did not go well for me.
Well, yeah, I think it could be a great pick. I mean, I maybe would have said that's the slot that you'd put the Junkrat in, but they go with the Chromie instead. And if it's a comfort thing, you love seeing the comfort, and going up against that Garrosh, it could be a pretty good pick for them.
Looking for this third ban for Bloodbath and Beyond. Is Ana going to come out? And I like the Ana ban, both for the fact that she can nano boost that Chromie, but also she can sleep and negate all of that healing that Garrosh is looking for.
So, Aero, do you think we're going to see Junkrat, or am I just completely off base here and no one's drafted? Because we only have 5 picks left.
I think Junkrat's a very reasonable and viable hero for what we see here. But it depends. I mean, they've got to have somebody who can play him.
It's going to be Vala. And for Mr. Potato Head, it'll be Zarya.
So what do you think they look for with the Vala Garrosh Zarya combo? I mean, I like the Zarya Garrosh. That's a tried and true combo.
I'd say the main portion is going to be Garrosh with the toss back, and then, you know, you get the root from Anduin. But is that enough? You're going to have to wait until level 10 for something from Vala, Rain of Vengeance. Maybe you use that Gravel Bomb from Zarya to help lock targets in further. You see our last picks, it's Tychus and Alexstrasza, and that Tychus is going to be really scary for Garrosh to deal with.
And you know what? I don't know. I don't know about that Tychus. It doesn't fit the theme.
Oh, not enough Warcraft?
Yeah.
All right. Final selection for the solo lane for Dax. It'll be Imperious.
So quite a heavy front line with the Vala there to keep her protected.
I am gonna say it. I'm very worried for waiting on Cherry. They will be waiting on Darth Cherrywood to make these initiations with the Garrosh, unless they get a little help from the solo lane flank of Imperious. A lot of work's going to be on his shoulders to find those throws, and then, I mean, you have 1 damage behind you, just the Vala. It's got a lot of work to do to kill these targets.
Absolutely. Do want to shout out Wraithling coming in on the side of Bloodbath and Beyond here. Wraithling is our officially website administrator, would be his official title, yeah?
Webmaster, web designer, web extraordinaire, president of the engineering club.
The web
all
wizard.
Those things.
Yeah, he does so much for NGS, so just want to take a moment to say thanks to him for that. But our teams are loaded in here, so Murda, which team do you want to introduce? I'll let you start that.
Yeah, I'll introduce our team on the left. We got Bloodbath and Beyond, Punk Arcade Pirate, playing the little girl Chromie, Rackham on the Thrall, Wraithling, the Webmaster on ETC, Lexadecimal playing the Alexstrasza, and up in the top lane, interesting soul lane pick, it'll be Tychus played by True Saint. Once again, they are Bloodbath and Beyond.
And over here to the right, we've got Waiting on Cherry, a new Division D team here. We've got Darth Cherrywood on Garrosh, Mr. Potato Head on the Zarya. Chameleon TDK is going to be playing that Vala, and Death Punisher on the Anduin, and Imperious is going to be played by Dax, as we get our skirmishing started here early in the mid lane.
We are in the mid lane. I'm trying to figure out how to follow your camera. I can't figure it out. I forget all the buttons because I never cast anymore.
I honestly don't remember. But that's okay.
Oh,
you can follow
okay.
your own
That'd
camera and you'll see what's going on. But looks like here, waiting on Cherry is going to rotate down into the bot lane. So a little bit of a different priority on the rotations here for the XP, as normally you see top and mid. But saw a little bit of this earlier today as well in Heroic, where they, or not Heroic, in Dives rather, where they did the same thing. Although the noticeable difference here is that we've got waiting on Cherry coming into their own camp as opposed to being on the aggressive camp that Broken Alliance, I think it was, had done.
So first item of the game picked up there belongs to Waiting on Cherry, which is an early grab for them. Fantastic work noting that this is the map where you want to have that item control on. Getting an early start there is good for them, but we see Thrall now working on the other side for it.
Yeah, and you mentioned here about the solo laner here, True Saint versus Dax in the top lane. Tychus getting very low in that matchup. And as you would, I think, kind of expect, because as we talked about in draft earlier here, it's very difficult for the range DPS, especially Tychus, who's low on range, but he's going to get caught by the Celestial Charge, and that's going to be a rotation up for a first kill of the game.
Yeah, that Q damage coming out from Vala, it looked like it wasn't going to be enough, but that little final bit of the Hungering Arrow, just enough to get Tychus for first blood of the game. That's going to give him enough space here to work on the support camp, and I don't think there's any chance Chromie's going to be able to get in there and deal with this. So Punk Arcade Pirate actually taking a ton of damage, almost falling. As the support camp's picked up, they find a free kill on Alexstrasza.
Yeah, and Garrosh really making use of that throw, that Warbringer ability to get Alexstrasza in the middle of the team there. So a full, not a full level lead, 3/4 of a level lead here for Waiting on Cherry. Is level 4 talents available for both teams. And it is for Tychus, it's going to be the bigger they are. And with this pretty significant front line between Imperius and Garrosh, and also, of course, the Zarya kind of halfway there, I think that's a pretty good pick.
I mean, yeah. I think this whole matchup changes at level 10, because until level 10, I don't think waiting on Cherry, I almost said waiting for Cherry, I don't think waiting on Cherry has really enough damage to take too many fights just heads up. But I think once they get 10, they get more of that CC. I think it changes a lot of stuff in this match. Yeah,
for sure. And you know what? So far, though, they're up 2 kills to none. So it's working for them already early in this game. And
well, it'll only get stronger from here, Aero. I promise.
Well, we've got siege camps going both in that top lane here. But it's going to be Bloodbath and Beyond working on clearing out the minion wave at least, so they'll get some damage into that siege camp. Probably a little advantage them. Wraithling coming in, power slide onto the Zarya, but the Leap of Faith pulling Zarya to safety, and the biotic emitter, it goes down, but not before they get the kill onto Zarya.
Yeah, not enough bio in that emitter for Zarya as that power slide hits 3. A lot of damage coming from above from Chromie. Still no kills even through that Dragon Queen, but it does mean that Bloodbath and Beyond will gain control of control point A.
And both of the teams use their turrets in there, although the Waiting on Cherry did go down there as they were disengaging. So they're going to make their time on the fortification camp as Imperius moving up to the top lane to clear up this siege camp. As the top tower there already about half health.
Yeah, good work. And you see right now Bloodbath and Beyond picking up a turret for themselves. So making sure they have something to use in this fight, as Thrall's going to drop it maybe a bit early. It's over on the left-hand side of control point A, not quite in range of any of these red heroes yet. Still have Zarya holding on to another turret, as here's the flip onto Alexstrasza.
Yeah, and that was a great chastise from Anduin to make sure that she got stuck there. But Garrosh is very low here, so Waiting on Cherry kind of having to pull back just a little bit, but staying on this point to flip it into overtime. However, Thrall getting caught by that chastise, and he's going to be the second kill out of this. Make it soon to be maybe a third, as Tychus getting thrown in as well.
Oh, the spear just barely missing from Dax on that Imperius. Would have been a kill on Tychus if he was able to land it, but instead able to scamper back to the wall. Tychus gets that well tap and might be able to head back in to make a defense.
Yeah, but check it out. Chromie's got level 8 here now, so And she gets the kill on Davala. Here comes that temporal loop as Garrosh gets knocked out. So he's going to be safe.
True Saint playing with blood there, almost in a really bad spot, but will survive again. Tychus on 9 lives here in Volskaya.
You know, and Tychus against this Punisher Protector can do a lot of damage because the Protector is considered a hero, and especially while it's still above that 40% mark, gets a lot of that extra bonus damage. But holy cow, taking that laser to the face brings Tychus down to about 25%. Has to be a little bit more careful now.
Gets a few heals from Alex Straza. No big deal anymore. But let's look around because we're almost dead.
Rack him. Getting caught there. And Punisher taking it out.
Oh, I was about to say, look how close we are. We're like almost even in this XP, even though the kills have been going over to Waiting on Cherry, and this objective went over to Waiting on Cherry. Still hanging in this game. Bloodbath and Beyond not doing too bad for themselves.
Yeah, and they were actually able to defend that entire Protector and not lose any walls or any wells. So great job on them to defend that.
It's so much damage coming from Chromie, but that time getting flipped, getting killed. Good job by Anduin making sure she didn't go anywhere. But I gotta see the damage meters. You have those up for our viewers because Chromie already at 30k, double what Imperius has on the other side, with only 15k.
Yeah, showcasing that now here. That's a pretty significant increase there, even over her own team. The next closest, Tychus, at just under 13k.
Items available on the map. Fortification camps on both sides. First up will be Waiting on Cherry, as Chromie is going to make the move to the left side of the map, working on the one for Bloodbath and Beyond. But this is just another case of let's get those items ready for Control Point B. Of course, top lane up next. And if you are Bloodbath and Beyond, you got to win objectives if you want to win Volskaya.
And they do have the biotic emitter here on Anduin, so Bloodbath and Beyond, or I guess that's Waiting on Cherry. Bloodbath and Beyond is a little bit behind in the XP, still about a half a level. Both teams working on their siege camps. And now it's Garrosh v Thrall in the bot lane. Not a matchup you see very often.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher. Orc versus Orc, though. Always love to see that.
Who is the greater war chief? Well, we already know that that's Thrall. So what do we got going up here in the top? So 4-man rotation. Both of these teams have their siege camps going. They're looking for the XP to get to that level 13 here. Waiting on Cherry is slightly ahead in that. And the XP here showing minions sitting about 1,000 more on the side of Bloodbath and Beyond. But overall, the kills and mercenary captures going over to Waiting on Cherry, keeping them ahead in the XP just a little bit, as level 13 is now available.
Yeah, I'd love to see Waiting on Cherry look for a fight here. They have this talent tier advantage for just a few moments, but not really looking for anything as of yet. They got Tychus up by their wall. I think a rotation right now onto this Tychus could net a kill if they go for it, but look at that speed as True Saint's able to sprint away. Whoa, Garrosh!
Oh, and the big mosh coming out from ETC onto 4, but the Sundering knocking a couple out doesn't matter. That's a triple kill, make it a quad kill, and here's a biotic emitter right over into the hands of Bloodbath and Beyond.
We'll take that, and if you look at the timer on that camp, only about 20-something seconds left until it spawns again. Then look up at the top at those death timers, and it could be another biotic emitter in the hands of Bloodbath and Beyond as Control Point B is active.
And making this, bringing down this wall, setting it up for presumably their big Protector win here. But Waiting on Cherry, they're coming back in. They've got level 13s just the same. So they'll be able to get onto this point. Oh, looks like Chad just caught up to that mosh pit.
Expulsion Zone did come out there, not able to keep anyone home for Bloodbath and Beyond. But here comes, once again, Waiting on Cherry, trying to make a defense. We are even on level 14. Imperius going to spear forward, get pulled back by Anduin. as they have a Tychus right in their breadbasket, picking up the first kill of the fight.
And that was a quick use of salvation, but then turned it off. I kind of wonder if that was a mistake, maybe. But the control point is going to flip over and stay on Bloodbath and Beyond as they're able to get the Protector coming out. And we'll see if they can get a little bit more value out of this one than the earlier one from Waiting on Cherry.
It was a good fight for Waiting on Cherry. They found what they wanted, but it was just a little bit too late, and the time was already expired. They couldn't get on the point in time. As his Punisher now assaulting this top fort, Garrosh a little low on health, but able to heal himself a bit. Wondering if they want to rotate down to the bottom at all, or just expire this Punisher onto that top fort. It looks like they're willing just to lose the health bar.
Yeah, and the Punisher's already down to 20% now. So they do get a little bit more, maybe, out of it than Waiting on Cherry did, but it's still going to go down with no structures. No forts down for either team yet. I
think that's a first for me. No structures down after the first two Punishers. Mosh pit right after the temporal loop goes down. Bye-bye Vala. Power slide now onto Zarya. She pops her shield, trying to run away as Mr. Potato Head. As Chromie's chasing, here comes Tychus, but another great pull by Anduin's going to save the day.
Anduin, for a moment there, going in, and Garrosh throwing the Chromie over there into the Salvation. What? That is such a short cooldown, it feels like. I guess it's 80 seconds. That's not that short, but...
Well, we got to give credit to Anduin. Just played that Salvation in the fight, making sure they got the kill and didn't die. Also, you got to really credit that leap of faith, saving Zarya's life right before that. So, after all is said and done right now, it is Waiting on Cherry ahead by 1 kill, just slightly behind in XP, but I'd say this is a very even match right now on Volskaya.
So far, it seems that way, and we've got level 16s here. Level 20s do get pretty intense, especially from some of these heroes. I mean, we get Chromie at level 18, probably going into Piercing, so she can get even more damage out of those Qs. And the next control point is C down here, and, I mean, that's going to be absolute chaos. And with Chromie Qs coming in, Waiting on Cherry's going to have, I think, a bit of a tough time.
You don't call it control point chaos for nothing.
Indeed, there's Garrosh throwing the Alexstrasza again, using the Lifebinder to stay alive.
You want. Lifebinder is way too good, man.
And there goes Dragon Queen. There goes Dragon Queen. But the damage, double kill
with the Sunder.
Wow.
Oh my god. He's like, load targets. What is he, Kira with the final strike? It was the Sunder strike.
No doubt.
Ends up with 3, the full triple there for Thrall. Huge credit there to Rackham finding those, racking up the kills.
So 2 to 3 there. That's going to give now Bloodbath and Beyond the first fort of the game, almost 14 minutes in. Not often you see that.
And they're going to get another biotic emitter here. True Saint going to be the one grabbing that, it looks like.
Maybe?
Or not, or yes, or not. There he goes.
And it is Piercing Sands here for Chromie, so now at the... Oh, and here comes the Temporal Loop onto the Zarya.
Good expulsion.
Yep. Keeping the Thrall at bay, making sure that he can't provide further follow-up. And here we go. Control point C coming up. Neither team's level 20, but we do have the flip onto Thrall using that Sundering Celestial Charge coming in. But you know what? Thrall dropped that turret. Oh, in the mosh pit.
Oh, Anduin just missed. If Anduin was also in that mosh, maybe there's kills, but Salvation was good enough, as now it's a double kill, maybe more as Chromie's low, able to speed away with the help of Alexstrasza. But you gotta talk all the way back to the start of that fight with Mr. Potato Head dropping the speed bubble onto Garrosh, giving him the speed to find the toss. And that double kill is going to really help them now. Control point C active, and they're looking to get all these objectives they can find because they're down a fort. They were able to win the first one, but they know they need these Punishers if they want any chance to get back in the game.
Garrosh throwing the Tychus again, but he's able to get out. Barely. But the health bars here on the side of Waiting on Cherry still fairly low here for the Vala especially. The others managed to get healed up here by Anduin, but Vala just now catching up on that healing. Yeah, Ryokai calling out that positioning. So close.
It doesn't get much closer. I mean, he was right on the edge of that mosh.
And you know what? That's how I feel, you know, when I went or felt back in high school when I went to those dances, always just on the outside. Rip.
He was taking the mosh to the edge.
There you go. Good call. Shout out to the Nexus Edge. So, you know, and I like what these guys are doing. Level 20 is coming up for both teams, not too far away. This is just me personally. I don't know that this is any different for anybody else, but I generally don't like to be on the control point at sea. I find that I'd rather be the aggressor coming in than the defender. What do you think, Murda? Have you found that to be the case for your games, or
yeah,
or
I mean, I
watching
think
in
you
games?
make a good point. I think a lot of it's just because comfortability. When you have heroes running at you with the help of those conveyor belts, it just makes it so awkward to land that lead-off CC. And if you are the aggressor like Garrosh is right now, finding a double toss with that level 20 upgrade, the taunt there onto PK Pirate. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, but they get the kill either way as the Dragon Queens now pop from Alexstrasza, sitting in the Abundance, gets speared and killed before the Abundance pops, so now it's a double kill for Waiting on Cherry. Make it 3. Control point C should be theirs from here, Aero.
And you know, it's funny, that's pretty much exactly what I was just saying, right? The aggressors coming in, the defenders leaving, Garrosh finding exactly the heroes that he wanted in Chromie, and I think it was Thrall that he threw, getting that taunt and setting up that play. And now the control point and the protector going over to Waiting on Cherry. And with these level 20s, I mean, this is a scary situation to be in here for Bloodbath and Beyond, with 3 heroes down for at least another 20 seconds.
So I have to apologize to our Punisher, because it's not a Punisher, it's a Protector. And I completely called it a Punisher earlier, but we're going to get it right now. These are Protectors on Volskaya, as it is sieging forward onto this keep. Really, no way to stop this damage coming out from Garrosh and Imperius inside. First keep of the game will belong to Waiting on Cherry.
And interesting there, level 20 for the Tychus, a little bit different than normal. I think Sizzle and attacks getting that 1% additional on all attacks instead of just his minigun. But look at this core, it's already got the shields down. Oh, they're gonna get the kill on
gonna pick up another
Zarya.
kill there.
Craziness.
Yeah, another great Sunder from Rackham, who again is racking up the kills along with that Sunder throughout this game. Good blast by Chromie following this Protector all the way back as Garrosh now slid on by ETC. Pops is indomitable, but you're not getting out of the grasp of the cow. See you later, and a big power play opportunity now for Bloodbath and Beyond.
And it looks like they're rotating in, maybe to follow Waiting on Cherry to their fortification camp. And that is, we see the danger pings and the retreat pings there to get out of there, as they know they're coming.
Siege Camp was pushing top that whole time, got through the wall a little bit on the keep as well. Rotation now coming from ETC. Has a mosh pit available as Wraithling going to steal away another camp. And with still 28 seconds until that front line's back up, the Garrosh is dead. This is a huge opportunity to find a keep and match up the structure count on both sides.
Yeah, ETC making use of that, it's not Blind Violet, Storm Shield, there we go. Shows you how, which heroes I take that talent on. And that's going to allow them to get the counter keep here, so both teams now down 1 keep. Although, Waiting on Cherry has 1 additional structure down, so Bloodbath and Beyond slightly ahead in the overall structure game.
True. Very true.
Valken, we're wanting to see some more stats, so I'll put those up for you guys. Oh, a potentially big mosh, but it got thrown away. Lifebinder coming out early and the biotic emitter, so that is a huge play by Waiting on Cherry, not only to negate that mosh, but to bait out so many ults.
Yeah, baited out the Lifebinder, at least. The Sunder is still on cooldown as well, but the mosh pit only went on a 10-second cooldown, so will be available here moving forward. Didn't go on that full 120-second cooldown, so Wraithling feeling at least good about that. But his team's got to worry about a little bit of siege in his bottom lane. Was pushing in. They're going to clear that out. Probably clear out 1 more wave before heading over to control point A. I think we'll hear the call out for that in just a moment.
All right, so showcasing a little bit more of these stats here. So healing and self-healing and all that stuff showing up right now. Some of the deaths as well. 12 to 15 on the kills currently. As the teams right now just cleaning up their lanes. We saw Bloodbath and Beyond clearing out the bottom. Waiting on Cherry clearing out the top here. And here's Control Point A coming in. And this is very likely going to be game for whichever team picks this up, as they both have a path right to the core, having that keep down already in the top and bot lane for either team there.
Yeah, someone absolutely has to clear out this siege camp. Glad to see they're doing it before the objective spawns. Full team rotating up for waiting on Cherry. But there is a camp available right now. That fortification camp on the side of waiting on Cherry's there. And yeah, they're making the move. This is going to be risky, but they want to go for it. Make sure their opponents don't get a free camp out of it. Looks like they will be able to pick it up.
Oh, but
Oh, wait, he didn't get it. Oh, it's picked up by Dax.
But Garrosh getting taken out there very quickly by the Tychus. Lifebinder coming in onto Wraithling. And they get the kill onto the Anduin as well. And if Vala goes down here, this is likely game, but Vala is going to get the shield and make it out.
Yeah, I'd love to see now a siege onto this bottom lane, open it up further, maybe even just move to that mid lane, get that keep down, and continue the onslaught while you have the power play. It's 5v3 right now, no Garrosh on the map, as now Wraithling bringing the team over, going to steal this siege camp one more time. And I would expect them to leave this camp and go right to the mid lane and work on that keep.
Yeah, especially with this minion wave here. It's not a ton, but it gives... There's another wave coming up here, and they can pressure this. They've got 20 seconds till Garrosh and Anduin are back. No real tank, no healer. And they are going to get this cleared up. We'll see how much damage they can put into this keep here while waiting on Cherry clearing up that siege camp on the top.
Yeah, they're obviously afraid to move in. This keep is going to be down very quickly. Expulsion going to come out from Zarya, but I think it's too little too late with Chromie that far away. Will secure the second keep of the game, and look what's right behind it, Aero.
Is that a Punisher?
It's a Punisher.
And this Protector here, 23 minutes into this game, is gonna just destroy this core very quickly. So they're gonna ignore the Protector here and look for any kills that they can get in the backline. Although ETC and Alex Straza, they're getting that continuous Lifebinder. So no kills yet, as the core is falling 65% now.
Yeah, someone's got to take this Protector out. It's still whacking away. There's the Salvation trying to keep some people alive, but I think this is too late. And it is. Game 1 over to Bloodbath and Beyond.
Well played by them. That was, you know what? I think you mentioned early on there, it seemed like this was a pretty balanced match between these two teams. And it came through. I mean, 14 kills to 15. The back and forth with the keeps, with the structures. Both teams at any given point were very close to getting additional pressure. So, and ultimately it was just that final coin flip that went over to Bloodbath and Beyond that allowed them to finish the game.
So I already mentioned it earlier, how Chromie was doubling the damage of any other hero in the game. It closed out that way as well. 121k for Chromie. Next closest at 67k for Tychus. So just tremendous amounts of damage from this Ballistics Mage. Haven't seen a lot of Chromie, but when you have a player who can put out that output, I'm expecting 100% a Chromie ban in game 2.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. For sure. We'll see what kind of adaptation they take here in their overall drafting as well. A very strong front line here between the Imperius and Garrosh, using that Zarya to get the mobility, but just not quite enough damage from their Vala to really keep them. They certainly got kills. They had just as many, but not enough to get the advantage they needed to win the game.
So we got a game 2 coming up. Any map in particular you think maybe we'll see? I know we have Braxis, D-Shire, Infernal Shrines, and Tomb of the Spider Queen banned out. Yeah, maybe BOE. Maybe we see Cursed Hollow again too, or dare I say an Alterac Pass?
Could be, could be. You know what? Towers of Doom is still up as well, right?
Oh yeah, Towers of Doom. Good old Todd.
I could see Todd making an appearance today.
I would love that. That would
All
really
right.
make my evening.
All right, so we're getting a request for a few minutes of a break, so we'll go ahead and put up a break timer here. Yeah, okay, so both teams are down with that, so we're going to take 5, and we'll be back here shortly.
A king has fallen. A father. A friend. A warrior. Defender of the Alliance. He was a beacon of hope. A leader without measure. A man who would never accept defeat. He was our shield against the storm. Wherever he has gone, Varian Rin will remain a hero. Always.
There is much for us to settle.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Nexus Gaming Series. And I do want to shout out Heroes Lounge bringing in the raid. Maybe some of those people back from when we were casting Div S earlier. So welcome, everybody. We're in the middle of a D-West competition here between Bloodbath and Beyond and Waiting on Cherry. I'm Aero. This is my good friend Murda. Oh.
Hi.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I was gonna say, did I have Discord minimized? You did such a good job with that. I was like, oh man, that's such a good. That's
I
like
was trying to hold it as long as I could.
a perfect picture too. Oh man, well done, well done.
Got him.
Oh man. All right, well, we talked about where we were gonna go, and Murda, it's gonna be Towers of Doom.
Hey, I like it. First time getting to see it here in Season 8, so stoked to hop on in.
So we're going to see here probably some different heroes. I don't think we'll see quite the same level of, what is this? Who's the Space Wheat character? I'm not the host. It's not my job to kick him
Thinking probably needs to get out of here.
out. Let's get the, don't forget lobby and coin. There we go. So this was the selection of Bloodbath and Beyond.
Ooh.
As
Okay, so waiting on Cherry opting for first pick.
Yep. So for those of you coming over from Heroes Lounge, if you're not familiar with the Nexus Gaming Series, Nexus Gaming Series has a variety of divisions, anywhere from D to A and then Heroic above. The division B, C, and D are split between West and East, not necessarily specifically based on where you live, but more so when you play. And so these two teams here, generally speaking, play a little bit later at night, which is why we're casting at 11:15 on the East Coast.
Is it 11:15 already?
Yeah, buddy.
Gotta love the weekend.
Yeah, crazy. And you know what? We didn't talk about it last game, but we did have a Garrosh on Volskaya Foundry, so I did check, and he did not take into the fray.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, if you guys at home are wondering, there are certain talents that from time to time become bugged, and the mods and admins of NGS work tirelessly to make sure that none of them are being exploited in the game. So Into the Fray right now is banned on Volskaya Foundry. All clear though, we're good after game 1.
Indeed. Want to say, Aaron G, thank you and welcome for the follow. Also, I don't think I officially thanked Turd Herder for that sub, so officially, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you check out those new Twitch emotes that you get. And we're going into the draft here. So
Towers of Doom.
What do you think? We talked about the globals on Cursed Hollow. This is another map that saw a pretty significant amount of value from globals. Do you think we'll see some of those in this one?
I think it's a great map for Dahaka. If you're gonna play him, this is maybe the one to pick him up on. You know, Falstead too, I think has a place here, and I'll mention a hero once again, Junkrat, which I thought we were going to see in game number 1. I think he can also play outstandingly well here on Towers of Doom because he can stall out those objectives for so long.
Yeah, for sure. Just taking a look here at our last game, what we had. We had some Li Ming ban. I think we'll see that again.
It has to be the Chromie ban. We already talked about this.
We could see both. Li Ming was on the other side, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they need to think about banning that Chromie right now, because if she gets through this draft, I think with what we saw in game 1, it's scarier than them having the Junkrat. So go ahead and take the Chromie out, unless if you have a game plan to deal with it.
Now, Waiting on Cherry had banned out the Kael'thas last game. It's going to be Bloodbath and Beyond banning it out this time because, of course, the first pick switched.
He's spooky.
Yeah, and again, on a map, certainly for Volskaya Foundry, it's kind of a tough circumstance to deal with because you're fighting on those defined areas. But really on Towers of Doom, it's not that different. I mean, you're fighting over those altars, and all your people are fairly close together, coming in, going out, and getting one living bomb can spread pretty quickly.
Johanna taken away, and she continues to be in almost every single match you will ever see. For the 4 matches we've casted here tonight, that is 100% participation for Johanna in these drafts. Few bans here tonight in the Bloodbath and Beyond Waiting on Cherry match. So it's going to mean maybe we see something like that Garrosh come out again, which I think was really the catalyst for any sort of kill potential for Waiting on Cherry. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again.
Yeah, and they had the Zarya to go along with it, which really enabled Garrosh to be able to do his thing. So we'll have to see if they're able to... Actually, it was first pick on Waiting on Cherry, wasn't it? Am I crazy?
I think it was. What do I know?
I don't... Maybe I am out in left field, because I have it flipped.
Let's talk about this Chromie pick, because she's going to switch sides. I was worried about her not being banned, but if the plan was to pick her, then touche, Waiting on Cherry.
No doubt. They are exceeding expectations and tricking ye old Murda.
I'm very old, believe me.
Well, Rackham's going to come in with the mouth ill here, and Li Ming going to make a show here. So Li Ming also not banned because they wanted to pick her.
Well, they get last rites now from Malthael, which helps set up that first reset for Li Ming, which is really all she ever wants in a fight, is that first reset usually is enough to find the second, third, fourth, and fifth kills. So I love having the Malthael. It's a nice pairing, and I think this maybe signals the more of a lockdown style. Oh, what a great steal there. We just saw this over on the other stream. The Varian Stukov, I thought would have paired in so nicely with the Li Ming and Malthael, but it's taken right away there by Waiting on Cherry. Good job.
What a great time for them to pick that up, too. Now, Darth was the Garrosh last game. So, yeah, so they're definitely going into Taunt Varian here. Well, I suppose I shouldn't say definitely. They could be, switching people around.
Well, I'm wondering if they were watching earlier when that Varian came out. Of course, we didn't have the Stukov in that one, but it was an Ana Rhaegar. But same sort of idea, just get that first kill for the Li Ming. But having it on the other side is going to take it away, and I think it also pairs in very nicely with the Chromie that Waiting on Cherry has. So, again, I just got to say, I think those two picks were really smart here heading into the ban phase.
Yeah, so we're going to see Raynor being banned out, and Waiting on Cherry saying, you know what? We're not going to give you Garrosh. And that's okay. What tank do you think? Well, already getting the Tyrande in there, it's going to be Arthas, so never mind. I don't have to ask you. Arthas can also lock down a hero, especially with the Tyrande follow-up, so certainly the potential to blow up there if they can get that root. No Varian required.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like the Arthas, like really, is it the best? Are there other tanks out there? I mean, Wraithling was playing the ETC game 1, so I'm assuming this is a main tank Arthas. I'm not super sold on it as we see the Zul coming out on Towers of Doom representing that double soak strat that I know Aero, I think we've played that a few times here on Towers of Doom together. What are your thoughts on that?
I like it. I mean, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them in the early game because they don't have an actual tank in the Varian. They're also remarkably squishy, and you know, Varian does struggle a little bit with people just walking by him, right? If they have enough people, which they've got the Malthael, they've got the Arthas, and they're going to have the Uther as well. But there's not a lot of mobility out of an Arthas, so you know, Varian can slow them down with his Lion's Maw. They've got the taunt as well. So they might be okay, and ultimately the early game is not the part that Waiting on Cherry are worried about. They're worried about basically level 13. Once they get to level 13, that top and mid lane are going to start just falling like you can't believe with the minion pressure.
Well, I haven't seen how this plays out having the XP globes as a factor now. I assume it only helps Zul because he's in the middle of the wave either way. But is there enough time for the rotations coming from Bloodbath and Beyond to catch up to what the Zul is outputting? And then really, we just got to worry about this bottom lane, the 4v4, how that's going to play out. Absolutely.
And I think, you know what? If If they're going Zool, I think maybe a potential ban onto the Mouth. Well, they couldn't because Mouthail was picked early. But Mouthail is going to be able to keep up with the Zool, so they're going to have the ability to get those rotations, keep them fairly similar, and it might actually be that the globes in this case hurt a little bit for the Zool, because Mouthail can keep up, and Zool, while yes, he is going to be in those lanes, it was rather helpful before when he could just pop off a scythe and move on. But Murda, go ahead and take it away with your introductions.
Sure. Over here on the left-hand side, we got Wraithling playing the Arthas. We have Rackham on the Malthael, True Saint playing the Uther, Punk RK Pirate on Li Ming, and Lexa Decimal on the Tyrande. Make some noise for Bloodbath and Beyond.
All right, and on the right, we've got Waiting on Cherry. Dak's going to be playing the Zool. D. Cherrywood playing the Varian. Chameleon on the Lunara here. Mr. Potato Head on the traitorous Chromie, switching sides, and Death Punisher. Maybe Darth Punisher? I don't know. Going to be playing that Stukov.
I think I called him Death Punisher in game 1. Darth Punisher would also fit. And if it is Darth Punisher, shout out, because I'm a huge Star Wars.
Well, and of course, D. Cherrywood there is Darth Cherrywood in Discord, so it would also fit the theme. So there you go. So Zool going into the evasion talent at level 1, going to help him to potentially slow down that incoming damage when that happens, but he's going to get the root onto Arthas, as Arthas getting him pretty slowed. And Mouthail already pushing up that top lane into the wall, going to leave that XP sitting there, and Zool's only going to get a couple of those XP globes.
I'm kind of worried with what I'm seeing so far. The Zool getting pressured so hard there, losing a lot of health, and having to deal with the soul lane matchup against a Malthael, especially when level 4 comes along and Die Alone is picked up. It's going to be pretty tough for Zool to hang in there too long.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting at with the Zool Malthael matchup here, and they're not even doing the double soak. But that's actually kind of okay, as long as Zool doesn't completely lose. If he's got the Malthael and Arthas in the top and mid lane like this, they're relying on Uther to perform a tank role and hoping that the Li Ming can pop off. And a 4 versus 3 is going to give them already this wall in the bot lane.
Yeah, credit to all those sappers that connected. They were able to steal one away. They were able to get their own, and all of them connect into towers. So the walls down and those towers are gone in the bottom lane, the most important lane here on Towers of Doom. So a fantastic start thus far by Waiting on Cherry.
Yeah, and they're looking like they're going to get a kill here onto Li Ming as the first blood going over to Waiting on Cherry. And you know, the reality of it is that in the early game, if you can split them up like they have so far into that 1-1-3, and you can push bot lane, that's how you win the early game. But Uther getting caught here with the taunt is getting slowed as well. And Lunara going to be able to get the kill, maybe? Just wait. And there it is. All right, but all the while here, Stukov up in the top with the Zool. 2 versus 3, and Zool doesn't have the heal yet, so this is looking like it's going to be a dead Zool.
He's down. Shout out in chat, Diet Llama letting me know the pronunciation here. It's Punk Rock Pirate. As we see another charging in Varian. Good taunt there. Will secure a kill onto Tyrande. Malthael's here trying to play defense, but he's taking a lot of poison from Lunara, being chased, being slowed. Rackham able to survive.
And Death Punisher there just narrowly avoiding the Arcane Orb coming from the Li Ming, but ultimately that's going to give them the second altar. So they'll get 8 points to 4 as level 7's now available. I don't think I showed level 4s. So there you go. Enjoy that for a little bit. But Zool, going into that cleave build as you would expect. That being said, Zool can be pretty easily interrupted. Once he starts doing those cleaves, if Uther can get a stun on him, or if Lunar Flare can land on him, then Zool just pretty much dies. Like, you can turn and burn him, and he's not going to survive with that shield for very long.
So, a bit of a head scratcher for me at level 4, picked up by Malthael. It's actually going to be Black Harvest over Die Alone. Oh, as we see this temporal loop started up by Chromie, True Saint maybe in some trouble in the silence and taunted by Darth Cherrywood. Great job once again by waiting on Cherry. But back to what I wanted to say about that Malthael pickup at 4. Not having that die alone maybe can cost them a kill later on. They want that single target burst, and not having die alone is not going to be a bit as available for the Malthael.
Yep, and with waiting on Cherry picking up this siege camp here, they're going to have all kinds of pressure going into bot. The taunt and the silence coming out, and Tyranida's going down. It looks like maybe not. Question mark. It looks like she makes it out. Never mind. And now Darth Cherrywood getting slowed by the Arthas is just now outside the edge of that Frozen Tempest.
Yeah, Bloodbath & Beyond has to be very careful here, though. That fort just got flipped over. Their support slow. Now temporal looped. Chromie's going to go for it. Been a little early on that Q. Tyranda's going to survive. We do have one of our altars active, a single altar here on the bottom side of the map. And with level 10, it's going to easily go over to waiting on Cherry.
And level 10's here, so getting that skeletal mages. Oh my goodness, and the taunt once again, this time onto Li Ming. That taunt silence combo is just devastating as they get now the kill onto Uther as well. And this is with a 4v5.
I was just going to say, it's so easy for them to do this, and you're seeing kind of the ease in each fight. Like, it seems like it's getting easier and easier. Finding kills, and Stukov a big part of it along with the Varian, and they're working in perfect tandem thus far.
And there goes a quick boss turned around for waiting on Cherry, so 4 more points in their favor. As with that midpoint there, they were able to get 5 points earlier, so 23-36.
Another taunt. No silence yet, but there it is. Tyranda's down. Now Uther swiped back into the fort. True Saint gonna go down as well. Wraithling temporal loop, and he's right back into Chromie's blast. Can he get out? Poison's on him, 100 health. He's gonna survive, but very close to falling that time was Wraithling on the Arthas.
Yeah, and this is what I mentioned early game here is that now Zool is starting to push these lanes forward a little bit, making use of his skeletons that he summons when minions die. And while the bot lane's already taken here, Zool with 13 is going to start pushing these lanes up so quickly Malthael just won't be able to keep up. And that's when they're going to start seeing additional structures fall. And it's entirely possible that in a couple of minutes we could even see a 6 cap from this team.
Could happen. You do see last rites to pick from Malthael. It's Divine Shield from Uther. Maybe would have expected D-Storm. Help counter some of this Varian attack, but instead will be the D-Shield. Maybe just protect one of those guys who's falling. As Dax all by himself here. He's got 2 heroes on top of him, including this last rites Malthael, who's now surrounded. Those mages are on the ground, and Rackham trying to get out as Li Ming shows up. They're getting damaged with the last rites, and there's the first kill, a reset for Li Ming.
And that's huge considering Arthas is in the bot lane trying to defend against the siege camp coming in. So this is an even fight up in the top, except with no tank.
For a loop once again, no D-Shield as of yet. He's in a silence, can't use it, and Uther is down just like that. You're seeing the effectiveness once again that Chromie, the hero, is having on both sides in this matchup. Game 1 was so good, and now Game 2, for waiting on Cherry, Chromie just as spectacular.
That's going to give 5 points over to waiting on Cherry. The 3 points earlier picked up here on the left side by Bloodbath & Beyond. But those siege minions did not make it past the line. Wraithling was able to keep them from going through.
Well, you alluded to a potential 6 cap, and with Sappers trying to be captured up top and looking for that kill on Li Ming down bottom, you can tell that the 6 cap is in their sights. They really want to try to get it, but they're going to need a little bit of help. Maybe a kill on Malthael in the top lane can help them secure that top fort. But I love what I'm seeing so far out of waiting on Cherry. A huge comeback after what happened in Game 1.
For sure. Malthael nearly falling here up in the top lane. That's going to allow the siege camp to get in, get that damage. And you see Zool there with that cleave just melting these lanes, these minions here. And with the reset talent and everything, he can heal off of Malthael. So Malthael, you know, Malthael's going to have a tough time if he finds himself in the middle of a minion wave, which is kind of where he wants to be typically when he's fighting other heroes. And if he finds himself in the middle of a minion wave with Zool, he's just going to die.
So notably, look at that health on the bottom fort. It is like 0 health. It does not go down. I wonder if Li Ming wants to make it over here quickly, just get that off the map really quick. It's really just any ability is going to take it down, but they haven't made the move yet. Is this it here?
Yeah, 217 health. They need to flip this, if for no other reason than to have an escape route here. Arthas is going to have Temporal Loop on him. Is going to get the D shield though, and no silence coming out. There it is, as Darth Cherrywood very forward here, and Army of the Dead was used. Stukov knocking everybody back, and it's going to be Arthas falling first, and the health bars on the side of Bloodbath and Beyond just too low. They cannot keep fighting here.
Yeah, unfortunately that time Rackham not in range for the last rites. Maybe would have been a kill on Varian because his protect was down, but Varian survives, and no kills come out for Bloodbath and Beyond, who just lose another altar and are about to lose possession of their bottom fort once again.
Yeah, Zool picking up this siege camp is able to do it very quickly with that auto attack increase, and back to doing what Zool does best. Getting into this lane, clearing it up, summoning some additional minions, and pushing the lane forward.
Just 10 out of 10 drafting from Waiting on Cherry. This game is going perfect for them. Another kill there. This one onto Li Ming, as one sapper is going to cross, the other one's close, and there they go. 3 more points for Waiting on Cherry. Oh my god. Bye, Tyrande.
That was absolutely crazy. You got the Li Ming King kill. Got sand. That's not BM. It's coming from the team that had the sand in their face. But this is going to be now potentially another boss here on the side of Waiting on Cherry. As the taunt going out onto Uther, the silence just a little bit too late, giving Uther the opportunity to get the D shield. But either way, they will secure the 4 points from the boss, and this is a triple altar phase.
Oh, they got Malthael all day. Now the taunt in the silence. Wow, just the execution and the comfortability that you're seeing, the temporal loop, and the whole team just knows it. They're like, this is a kill. There's no possible way that Malthael could ever get out of this. And it's the 13th of the game for Waiting on Cherry.
And with the triple altar phase here, we almost saw immediately another kill onto the Li Ming there. But Zool's going to pick up the bot lane. That's going to give him 5. So this has got to be all in the top lane here for Bloodbath and Beyond. They cannot let either of these channels go.
They don't need this top left. They can just, Lunara now hopping over to the other side. That's all they need. Just keep Uther away. Start that channel up, Lunara. And it looks like she will. And Aero, I'll go ahead and tell you, that's going to be GG here. Oh, interrupted. Okay, not GG yet.
Oh, and the last rights on the full health variant. Not quite going to get a whole lot of value there. But getting one final kill onto the Li Ming at the end of the game there. That's GG. So we've got ourselves a game 3.
We do. The only thing better than a game 2 is a game 3, and that's exactly where we're headed.
Late night hots. 2 kills to 15. That was very much on the side of Waiting on Cherry. That first game was very evenly matched. This one didn't look quite as much, and it was mentioned in chat. Was it Soul Rules, I think? Or no, the Lazy Hydra saying 2 burst comps, Cherry just executing better. And that's ultimately, how that went. I think it started at the very beginning when the Bloodbath and Beyond felt that they needed to go 1-1-3, keeping that Arthas in the lane, keeping Malthael in the lane, and pressuring what they could, and it just put them behind for the whole game.
And once again, Chromie, an impact hero, switching sides. I think maybe even better here, although game 1 was super high damage output. I think just like the kill potential with the temporal loop, it was such a perfect hero selection for them to take away, and then pairing it with the Varian and the Stukov like they did, just money. Huge props to Waiting on Cherry.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we didn't get to see it a whole lot. We didn't call it out, but, Banner of Dalaran used, and with the changes to Varian's talents. I actually kind of like that Banner of Dalaran a little bit more sometimes than the Banner of Ironforge. So getting the spell power instead of the armor, but it's also half the cooldown. And when you do get to level 20, that means that you pretty much have constant banner uptime if you take Glory to the Alliance. So why wouldn't you when you've got the damage coming out from a Lunara and a Chromie, and it affects healing. So extra healing for Stukov as well.
Well, yeah, all cylinders were clicking. 15 kills to 2. I think that means Waiting on Cherry has more kills overall in the match. So if you're using that as a metric to gauge who might win game 3, maybe the edge right now, especially after that dominant performance, is with Waiting on Cherry.
Absolutely. So it sounds like we've got map pick is going to be going over to Waiting on Cherry. And coincidentally enough, we're waiting on Cherry, as apparently had to hit the restroom. So why don't we just take a quick 2 minutes, get a little bit of maybe a quick drink break, and come on back.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for! But on my journey, I have learned another lesson. You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this!
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back here. Murda's live. He's not doing his statue pose this time. It's my alt Murda face. What? Work with your name, Murda. Red Room doesn't work with Murda's name.
Yeah, it's like Red Rum from The Shining.
You know, I've never seen The Shining.
Murder.
I mean, I'm
yeah.
familiar with the reference, but
It's a classic movie. Yeah, the creepy, whatever it is, like writes, like scratches in the door, red rum, like blood dripping down and stuff.
nice.
Creepy. Yeah. If you're a child, don't watch that till you're 18. You'll have nightmares until you're 18.
Man, I remember I was like 3.5, 4, something like that, and I was at at the babysitter's, and there was some commercial that came on. It was like a music video, and it was like a gas station bathroom, and there was all kinds of things in the gas, like the toilet had a bunch of stuff going on. There was a snake that came out of the sink, and dude, that scarred me for life. Like, I don't think I used a gas station bathroom until I was like 30. No joke.
No one likes using a gas station bathroom, to be precise. I've never met a person who's like, yeah, we're going to the gas station bathroom.
True enough.
They're never nice.
Yeah.
They always have pee on the floor. Gross.
Yeah.
I think they have a mop somewhere in there.
Well, you know what we do know, though, is we're going to Battlefield of Eternity for our game number 3.
Is Murda back? I'm here. I've been here. Were they waiting on me?
I don't think so. You were
Okay.
you were talking. You said things.
I thought I did.
Yeah. Let's just do a quick hop over. Take a look at the maps that we had here. So, quite a full night of it. We've got the map bans originally. Brax's Holdout was banned out along with Dragonshire from Waiting on Cherry. Bloodbath and Beyond banned out the Tomb of the Spider Queen and Infernal Shrines. Game number 1 was Volskaya, picked by Waiting on Cherry, and it was Bloodbath and Beyond that won that. Waiting on Cherry then won Towers of Doom, which was picked by Bloodbath and Beyond. And our final game here, Waiting on Cherry, selecting Battlefield of Eternity. So far, first pick has won each time.
Is it going to be Bloodbath and Chromie or Waiting on Chromie? One of them is going to have Chromie, unless there's a ban. And so far, it's just Artanis.
And Chromie can get a lot of work done on BOE too. She's got pretty decent race, especially after you stack that level 1. I don't even know the name of it. I wish I'd
It's like
played
the
more
Sands
Chromie.
something. Dude, don't. I literally, I thought Chromie got deleted from the game. Like, I haven't seen her in that long. But tonight, twice already, and I'm expecting a third, but there it is. The ban finally coming out from Waiting on Cherry.
Not a big surprise. Chromie's had a big impact on both games tonight. And Bloodbath and Beyond is going to go ahead and ban out some of these racers with the Artanis and the Vola.
Well, the one thing that definitely worked last game for Waiting on Cherry was that selection of the Varian and Stukov. There's a few other heroes they can slot in place of Chromie, but I think that specific combo, the Varian Stukov, is what we might end up seeing once again from Waiting on Cherry, and I would not hate to.
And it works wonders here. In fact, we saw it on this map earlier, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And there's the Kael'thas. Kael'thas making it through for the first time tonight. Or at least on this match.
Question mark?
I mean, you almost feel like you have to. Well, maybe not. I mean, there are other obvious potentials. But it works so well for them in game number 2 that it feels like that's the way to go. Even into, not only that, but even into an Uther D-Shield. It's going to be Tyrande and Li Ming.
Yeah, but let's talk about these two heroes, because I think these are the two heroes they want if they want to bring in a Stukov variant. I know they'd have the double support now because they pick up the Tyrande, but that Lunar Flare is going to help keep that taunt target there that much longer. So if I'm Bloodbath and Beyond, I'm thinking about maybe banning out the variant.
I would 100% agree with that, because even if they don't get the Stukov, I mean, just having the Tyrande and the taunt there would be huge. Another potential big hero, though, for Waiting on Cherry would be Garrosh, especially with the Diablo there wanting to charge in.
And they've already shown that they want to play a Garrosh. They lost that game number 1 with them. They paired it in with the Zarya to get the speed bubbles on, as we see Ana, the final ban for Waiting on Cherry. I think you make a great point. I think Garrosh could also work here and kind of fill that same role that Varian would.
Not
There's the
anymore.
ban.
Yeah, and I think with the ban on Ana, that also kind of symbolizes the potential for a Garrosh pickup. Just because, you know, he wants to make use of that Bloodthirst when he's getting low, and the Sleep Darts certainly make it a tough day for Garrosh. So this
Chat talking about the variant as well. It's going to be Lunara and Johanna, which we're going to get a look at for the first time today.
All right. So not quite the same lockdown potential that Varian has on a single target, but they do have the Condemn and Blessed Shield to kind of work on a group of people. And with Lunara, maybe with a Splintered Spear or going into Thornwood Vine again, could work.
Ariel, Raynor. Final 2 pickups for BBB.
And Raynor's going to be their primary race hero there. So we did see earlier Thrall was in the 4-man, and they sent the range DPS up into the top lane. So we might actually see something like that again here. And it would be interesting because these teams might have been watching some of this earlier today. Some of the same setups have been coming out here. But going back into that Imperius there for Dax.
Yeah, I'm maybe worried now because this is looking more like their game 1 draft than their game 2 draft. And we know what happened in game 1. Waiting on Cherry did not win that. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think the edge might be right now with Bloodbath and Beyond. They get that Kael'thas, which was a highly contested, banned out twice tonight already. They get them. And I think maybe that's the difference maker, is having that mage that they've been waiting to play all night.
Certainly possible, but let's keep in mind too, game number 1 was not a blowout. It was pretty balanced between the two, and they've got a little bit more damage in this. They don't just have a single Vala. They've got that Li Ming, they've got the Lunara for the kind of consistent sustained damage with the big burst potential coming out from a Li Ming. I could still see this being a really scary circumstance here for Waiting on Cherry going into Bloodbath and Beyond here.
Well, let's introduce this blue team for the final time tonight. Up front, it's Wraithling on Diablo. Big taunt there. True Saint on the Raynor. Punk Rock Pirate playing the Kael'thas. Glad I was able to get that right for you today. Lexi Decimal on the Ariel. And up top, it's Thrall played by Rackham. Ladies and gentlemen, they are Bloodbath and Beyond.
Alrighty, and Waiting on Cherry here on the right, looking to finish up a reverse sweep here. We got Dax on the Imperius up in the top lane. Down here in the main lane, Darth Cherry would going to be playing that Johanna. Death Punisher on the Tyrande, and Chameleon going to be on the Lunara with Mr. Potato Head on the Li Ming.
Great work there. Love it.
It's going to be Force Armor here for the Li Ming as well, given that additional mana return and the spell armor. But Li Ming, or not Li Ming, rather Lunara, looks like sharing the warmth with that Living Bomb, sending it over to Li Ming. And the one real challenge here with the spell armor for Li Ming is that you've got the Living Bomb, and that's just going to eat up those stacks of spell armor so fast. So, I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. It's the one mage that I always hesitate to take spell armor against is the Kael'thas.
I do like the Hunter's Mark pickup at 1 for Tyrande. Definitely going to help during the race. We got to talk about Lunara at level 4. Nature's Culling. It's going to be a tremendous pickup, but they got to reach level 4 as quickly as they can. Getting it before the first objective, sometimes pretty hard to do. Might need a kill or two to make that happen. But look at Lunara as a key player here for Waiting on Cherry.
Nice Lunar Flare there from Tyrande onto the Diablo. Diablo has the hat here instead of one of the DPS, as Raynor did come down from the middle there. But Diablo falling low, as he doesn't have a whole lot of souls just yet.
Bottom camp is available. Both teams now checking it out. Johanna the closest in there, as we're checking out up top, where Imperius going to land a spear there onto Thrall. Rackham very low on mana. Not a position you want to be in early in a lane matchup. Might have to go back for this objective fall.
But back in the bot lane here, it looks like maybe both teams kind of casually checking out this siege camp in the bottom, trying to decide whether or not they want to go for it, whether the other team's going for it. And yeah, Azul Rule's calling out that the Force Armor is, of course, for the Pyro. And of course, that's true. The only challenge is whether or not you can maintain that when that Pyro is coming out or not. Because you have to hit with those missiles to get those stacks. And if he puts a Living Bomb on you, it's just gone. But we'll see. I'm not saying it's the wrong pick. I just personally find it difficult to maintain the spell armor into the Kael'thas is all. Siege Camp going to be picked up here. Diablo's fully aware, but with the vision, not really going to be able to do anything about it there. And Thrall's going to get onto the Shaman camp, so... Camps both going into the bot lane here. We'll meet in just a moment as Waiting on Cherry getting onto their Immortal first.
Yeah, and you do see level 4 was picked up, so Lunara got that extra damage in this race as Wraithling very low and does fall that orb at max distance from Mr. Potato Head and send Diablo back to base throughout the duration of this objective, I'd imagine. Was halftime pushed? Okay, there it is. This is a really deep halftime.
Yeah, it took a little while for that.
Did it not stop right at half? Looked like it went past half there.
Yeah, it definitely did go a little bit
Is that
past
'cause
half.
of the
Saw that
poison,
earlier.
maybe?
Could have been. I definitely saw one earlier that went a ways past half as well, so.
Yeah, it seems weird to me. Well,
Well,
should be free from here, but Diablo's going to try to make a defense along with Thrall running in. Diablo's coming on the flank now. Wraithling charging in, finds Death Punisher, flipping him back, and Tyrande might fall. No! Able to scoot on out and survive for now.
What a play. And, you know, that's all with Imperius in the bot lane and Raynor there slowly
Look at
whittling
Raynor, he's a
away.
champ.
Yeah, he's going to bring this,
got
this
it.
Immortal home.
Wow, great defense coming back from Wraithling. Really winning that was Diablo for them. Big body in front of the Immortal. Big charge, almost getting that kill, but really just creating the space for Raynor was all they needed.
And level 7's now available here for Waiting on Cherry, so they've got a little bit of an advantage to defend against the Immortal. Pressuring in the top lane, and Thrall and Imperius going back into the bot. And look at that. Li Ming throwing out the orbs already, bringing this Immortal to half health as the first tower will go down from this wall.
Yeah, big chunks from her, but big chunks coming in the other direction as well. This wall and towers are all down as the Punisher, Immortal, Protector. It's an Immortal. It will fall.
You know, if this was a...
Oh my god, did you see that?
That was so close. If this was a DB Smiley stream, we could call them pumpernickels.
Yeah, we can call them every word.
Yeah. Are you, by the way, are you locked onto my camera?
I am, yeah. I'm watching
Okay,
this
great.
top siege camp getting taken, and thought maybe an attack, but without Diablo, not possible.
So what does Diablo have here? 65 souls. And Johanna is going to chase in onto the Raynor here. Body blocking him as well, but Detainment Strike is going to lock down Johanna. The Diablo stun as well. But she's Johanna. She pops that Iron Skin and walks away.
Yeah, not able to get the overpower before that Iron Skin came out. A lot of damage now coming onto Raynor and Ariel. And I think maybe a good time to back up a bit if you are Bloodbath and Beyond, because this Li Ming really becoming that artillery mage that Chromie was in the last game for Mr. Potato Head.
And there's the Tyrande stun coming out onto Diablo and just about getting the kill. But Ariel able to get that heal in there just in time. And we've got our next Immortals coming up here, Murda.
There is one Bruiser camp available, as you can see now. Waiting on Cherry, working on getting this sent out. I don't know the timer on the other side, but I don't imagine it's anytime soon. Oh, it is. Okay, 10 seconds away for this other Bruiser camp, but too late before this Immortal spot.
Yeah, and they're both ready to go here. Waiting on Cherry already started, and now Bloodbath and Beyond as well. So let's zoom out a little bit here. Sorry, zoom
Yeah, level 10s
all the
though
way
for
out.
Waiting on Cherry right here. They are going to be losing this halftime, but it's time to look for a fight right here. I got to start it off with this Johanna Bless Shield. We'll see where Darth Cherrywood wants to put it.
So the Immortals now in their positions. And the Arcane Orb's coming out, but the charge in onto Johanna. Imperius getting the Celestial charge, and Johanna going in. There's the Blessed Shield, and Rackham getting very low, but is going to be able to disengage. Angelic Armaments coming out from the Imperius. Doesn't get a kill, but they do get the kills off of the Celestial charge, and the resets coming in for Li Ming, getting a double kill.
That was really impressive. They found the fight, and it ended up being that double spear from Imperius, really earning the kill for them. So Credit to Dax on that one, as you see him taking a flame strike, but he's ready to move right back in as Johanna is.
Yeah, Johanna's very low on mana, so is Imperious, and you know what? Li Ming doesn't have all that much either. So they've got to be a little bit careful here as the race continues on with Lunara and Tyrande there in the bot. And it looks like we're going to see the rotation here from Bloodbath and Beyond coming in onto the Lunara, and Lunara's pretty much just toast, right? Oh my gosh, she just barely gets out of that Flame Strike.
Yeah, just out of that Immortal Stun too, which would have been the scarier part. Flame Strike barely missing Tyrande there as Imperious took a little bit of it. And now waiting on Cherry. They have to back out. Like, this looked free for them, but they're not going to get it now, are they? Oh, True Saint might go down. Oh.
Yeah, and if True Saint goes down, I think that they've got a shot at it, but Li Ming also very low here as the Celestial Charge coming in onto the Kael'thas.
Oh.
And they did get the kill out of the Rainer as well.
Someone's got to race now. Get this Lunara in there. Finish this thing off. I don't know how they've survived this long without losing it, but they do. Waiting on Jerry. Picks up the Immortal and 8 health. That Lunara... Okay. Thrall finishes it, but man, that looked like she might have gotten away.
Yeah, and so that's another kill here. Ultimately, the first kill for Bloodbath and Beyond in this game so far. What was that? 2 for 1? 3 for 1?
3 for 1. I don't know. So many kills happened during the objective. I lost count, but right now the only thing that matters, Immortal pushing bottom lane. Lunara just spawning. She won't make it here in time. But Johanna and Tyrande, along with Li Ming, are going to try to at least get this wall down. I think Mr. Potato Head will be able to get it. If he throws any talents there. Okay, yeah. They get the wall, but that's it.
And Rainer there getting stunned, so... Oh, here we go with the APOC flip onto the Lunara. The boot back there, I think from Condemn onto the Diablo, helping to keep Lunara alive.
Yeah, and Kael'thas got interrupted. He was about to throw out that big Pyroblast onto Lunara, but I didn't see exactly what interrupted it. Perhaps a Condemn from Johanna? I didn't quite see.
Could have also possibly been a Lunar Flare, maybe. Because I'm not sure if Condemn was still up. Or would have been back up, but Johanna getting stunned in, pops the Iron Skin, going in with Condemn here. Does pop that Blessed Shield, so getting the stuns out. But we've got a low mana Tyrande here, so rather aggressive here positioning and team fighting for limited resources.
We got Wraithling on full souls right now playing Diablo. I'd love to see all that aggression continue. He's landing all these charges. Might have another one here. He does onto Johanna. He's going to flip her right back to safety on her side. Oh, she steps back in, though. Look at this.
Yeah, and that was really close. Both True Saint and Punk Rock Pirate getting very low from the Li Ming orbs. And Diablo charging once again on the Johanna. This time onto the flip onto Lunara. And there goes the Pyroblast. Now Lunara does have Greater Spell Shield, maybe?
She dead. She dead. Good find there from Kael'thas. Going to give opportunity to push now. Bruiser Camp with them in the bottom lane. Immortal spawning in 5 seconds, so they're actually going to forego the push and start working on the race. Got to get Rainer in position. Will be an aggressive side, so they want to get this damage in before Lunara respawn. And they have plenty of it right now. That Exterminator from Rainer doing good damage. And halftime will be achieved rather quickly here.
So chat pointing out, of course, that, you know, the Pyroblast into the Spell Armor. A couple of heroes here have Spell Armor and Shields. Now, Lunara's Spell Armor, she can turn that on and off at will. If she's paying attention to doing that, though. So I don't know. I didn't see it pop up. So it may have activated earlier. Yeah, see, it's already turned on here right now. Now, of course, no pyro available. So big Lunar Flare onto the Kael'thas. Celestial Charge coming in as well in the APOC. Looks like Kael'thas is going to be taken out as well as the Ariel. And Li Ming getting all these resets, and it's going to be Diablo falling next. A triple kill as the charge coming in, and the Lunar Flare again. Helping to secure yet another kill as they get 4 kills. Lunara now heading down to get the race onto the Immortal.
It's exactly what Waiting on Cherry needed. A big setup for their Li Ming. Get those kills. And this could be enough space to win this Immortal. They got to scare that Rainer away. Looks like they're going to do that up top. But
Yeah.
this isn't a great fight for them. This is a losing fight for Johanna and Imperius. But they need their damage down on that Immortal, so a good enough job done by Darth Cherrywood, and it looks like Waiting on Cherry is about to lock this Immortal in.
Yeah, and it may be a losing fight if they were just kind of hanging out, going 2v2, but all they're trying to do is slow down that Raynor. And with the Johanna, with the blinds, with the stuns coming out from Imperius, they do it for long enough to give Waiting on Cherry their second Immortal. I think this is the third Immortal of the game.
And we're almost 14 minutes in, no structures down, just like when we were earlier on Volskaya Foundry. It took a while to get started in the siege. But I think this Immortal should be enough to get through at least this fort here. But we'll find out as the action ensues.
Yeah, and it's going... There's the Blessed Shield coming out. They're looking for the Oriole kill. Unstoppable used there on Johanna, and there's the Crystal Aegis. Not quite enough to kill Lunara just yet, but the Lunar Flare finds the mark. And it's going to be Diablo falling next here.
And now we're talking about a keep potentially going down because they have the siege power here. Of course, Lunara with Nature's Culling is going to make this go really quickly. Immortal down to 50% health, but the wall's down, and now both the towers are down as the Immortal's making his move towards the keep. It's looking more and more like this one's going down.
Yeah, and Raynor getting very low there from the Lunara damage as well, so this keep is completely destroyed, and they might get the kill on the Raynor. They do. The Sundering coming out onto Johanna along with the Root. Mana bars are fairly low, so I don't know that they can really consider ending here, but they might be able to get another kill onto this Thrall.
Oh, and they do get it. Anything more from here could spell trouble, but thankfully, if you're a Bloodbath and Beyond fan, Waiting on Cherry is going to retreat on out, presumably head down to this siege camp in the bottom lane as if you want to check out Imperius, he's up top about to get down that top fort. So all over the map right now, Waiting on Cherry is spilling their juice of cherry everywhere.
Oh my. Is it after midnight? It is after midnight. All right, we can talk like that. That's the rule, I think. I don't know. We can make it a rule. We got that.
Hey,
All
it's
right.
your stream. I can be ridiculous.
Exactly. So Waiting on Cherry's going to come in here now. Imperius is back at their own camp, and Diablo's coming in. So this could turn into an awkward fight here pretty quickly, although they do have a 16 advantage. Raider is going to go down. Wraithling's going to pop the Apocalypse. The stun going out here. Li Ming does have a Pyroblast coming in, and she's going to get taken out by it.
This could be more. Johanna tried moving onto that mercenary camp to hold the capture, but got booped off just a little bit by Ariel, and it did give enough room for Bloodbath Beyond to grab that Bruiser camp away. But you do see on the other side of the map, there's another Bruiser camp available, and it will belong to Waiting on Cherry. They're pretty wide open, but incoming looks like a 4-man squad from Bloodbath and Beyond if they go there. No, they're not. My bad. Thought they were.
They're just going to set up for the quick race here, while Li Ming is still off the map. And, you know, that kill on the Li Ming earlier is kind of what I was describing about that level 1 is you know, her spell armor went away pretty quickly. It's only 2 ticks. And so unless you can get that immediate missiles onto somebody and then disengage for the Pyro is going to hit you at full. Almost, I feel like almost every time. Certainly the way that I play Li Ming.
Quick halftime was flipped over by Bloodbath and Beyond. Next positioning top bottom, and BBB gonna have to make the move here to the bottom side of the map, and all the way up top you see this Bruiser camp pushing in onto their fort. They're not trying to get those catapults started, so a clear has been sent. It's Thrall and Raynor, but just a little bit too late as that fort does fall.
And that's gonna give Waiting on Cherry the opportunity to push in on the Immortal here. They catch up almost on the halftime here. As Diablo
charging in, has the APOC at the feet of Lunara as well. Another stun by Ariel, but look at it. Chameleon still living on the backside. Li Ming's going to find a kill onto Thrall, and now the resets are starting 2 down as Imperius is deep looking at this Diablo and the Ariel. Lexadecimal may be the one in trouble. Lunar Flare just missing, but the poison's there. Crystal Aegis, the only thing trying to save her, but it's not enough. The dominance coming through now from Li Ming as Mr. Potato Head once again becoming an MVP.
And that's going to give the Immortal race here over to Waiting on Cherry, but I don't know that they even needed it. I think that with the catapult pressure here in the bot lane, which Raynor just now cleared up, I think they might have even been able to just gone core with the Lunara damage and Li Ming damage. I don't know.
Going for a bit of a safer route. XP for 20 should be here soon. There's a lot of XP up top that they're getting right now. And this Immortal, when it drops in, it's going to have a nice wave with it.
Rip the Tempo Storm banner there. Rip HGC. It's been a little bit over a year since we lost our good friend. Actually, it's just under a year. I think it was like December 12th or something. Feels bad. But here comes the Immortal, about just under 40% on the shield here. And the sidewall's down. Looking for a kill is Waiting on Cherry, as they've got their level 20s now. And they got some big damage potential coming out of this level 20, these level 20 talents, Murda.
Yeah, they gotta step in. They're waiting too long. Like, this attack should have been minutes ago. We still have the Blessed Shield on hand. I want to see Johanna try to take this fight while they have an advantage, and this Immortal is still on his feet, and here it comes finally. No resets yet, but there's the Blessed Shield. They get the first. More damage coming from Li Ming, but Diablo, the big body up front, soaking all of it. Now Ariel, the one who's low. Lexadecimal's down. Another reset for Li Ming, as it's looking like the beginning of the end in favor of Waiting on Cherry.
You know, you say that, but now we've got a Pyroblast coming out onto Lunara with no spell armor, and she's gonna go down.
Like, why are we picking Greater Spell Shield and we're not using it?
We do have the triple catapults here in the bot lane. They might have even still been able to just keep going if they would have kept that pressure up and kept the heroes distracted up toward the top half. Maybe those catapults by themselves would have been able to do the damage required to the core. But yeah, you got to turn that spell shield off. You have to remember when that 30-second cooldown is up, mash that one key and keep it safe. That's essentially your version of an ice block.
So Aero, chat agreeing with you, saying they probably could have won before picking up that Immortal, but instead opting to pick it up, they net themselves the keep, but no damage yet onto the core.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate. It seems like it's the safer play, but when you consider that you have a 20-second duration there of basically all the primary threats on the side of Bloodbath and Beyond, it's really not that much safer, because now they're running the risk of losing an Immortal. And at this stage of a game, level 20 is going to be available here soon for Bloodbath and Beyond, and they could take a hefty Immortal all the way to the core if not careful on the side of Waiting on Cherry.
Level 20 almost here for Bloodbath and Beyond, just a moment away. They're going to go ahead and start the race up against Johanna. Darth Cherrywood playing defense as the rest of her team back on the blue side Immortal. And I think the race to halftime should go over to Waiting on Cherry, but it's going to be a lot closer than it maybe otherwise could have been.
For sure, and at this point now, because of that keep value, Waiting on Cherry can be a little bit patient. They can play a very defensive game here, because the Shaman camp in the bot lane is not going to get very far. But there goes Lunara's spell shield's down.
Oh, it just got used, and here comes that Pyroblast, gonna get another kill and actually spread some damage over to Li Ming as well. But Li Ming says, I'm ready to go. How did they not die? The armor coming in and still no resets. Oh, it is gonna be one for Li Ming. Look at them go. 1, 2, Diablo, so much health. Won't be 3 yet. Until now.
But they're not paying attention to the core, and the shield is already gone. Raynor is still on the Immortal here. Diablo, with his souls coming back, is going to try to stall this out. But Kael'thas is being chased by Imperius, likely to die. Does, in fact, to the Li Ming. And now it's just Raynor and Diablo with a 50% health core. Murda, this is a good game.
And a great comeback in this set by Waiting on Cherry after losing game number 1. Oh, good blink there by Li Ming, 2, and another kill to add to the total, now 23. But after game number 1 that was very close, could have gone either way, it's going to be the reverse sweep closing it out for Waiting on Cherry.
What a match. Looking really solid. Waiting on Cherry, again, a newer team in NGS. I don't actually know.
I know some of these players have been around.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Some of the names do sound familiar.
Hangs
Okay.
around the regen server at times. That was an exciting set. We went to 3, and I think we got our full money's worth out of that one.
Absolutely. Let me see if we can get Darth Cherwood in here, or one of the other people from the team there. Alright, sent him a message and we'll see what the response is. Because this is going to be a fun interview. It's always fun coming into these interviews where, you know, you have some, like, such a strong showing in game number 1. Both teams, you know, perfectly balanced, as Thanos would say. And then, you know, game number 2, such a powerhouse game for waiting on Cherry. And then obviously game number 3, pretty strong as well.
Yeah, and I was worried. Wasn't sure if the heroes they selected were going to be enough. It looked closer to the game 1 draft than the game 2 draft. And I liked the game 2 draft that much more than game 1, but they ended up making it work. Maybe the Johanna pick was the difference. No deaths in that one for Darth Cherrywood. And outstanding work, our MVP tonight. It's got to be Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, no doubt. Anything else you want to talk about while I try to reach out here to Darth?
No, other than, you know, hey, everyone out there watching, thanks for being here. Hopefully you guys had a exciting time watching that with us. Hopefully we get an interview here for you.
All right, we do have one here, so we're gonna go over to the NGS lobby. I'll see you there.
All right, see you there.
All right, and we've got Darth Cherrywood here. Let me get to the right page for this. Congratulations on your victory there. Is Murda here with me? Are you here yet?
I am here.
Excellent. So congratulations. We absolutely loved watching that set. How's your team feeling after that big high?
Pretty great. My heart is definitely racing. It was intense.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You had a really strong, you know, balanced match in game 1, and then game 2, you guys really took control and finished off with game 3. So, you know, the reverse sweep, you always love to see a 3-game series where the teams, you know, start off really well and are evenly matched. So, you know, congratulations on really pushing hard on this. So I saw some chat. I mentioned I think you guys are a fairly new NGS team, but I saw in chat that you guys may have participated in Heroes Lounge under another team name. So have you guys been around for a little while?
We started this past season of Heroes Lounge under the name Nautilus, and me, Chameleon, and Mr. Potato Head are returning members from that. Dax and Death Punisher are new guys that we brought in.
Good deal. And so, Alicia Wynn's coming in with a big raid, and unfortunately we're just doing a quick interview here at the end of it, guys, but thanks for joining us. So where did you pick up the other 2 players on your team? Were they folks you picked up from NGS or from Heroes Lounge?
We're both NGS free agents. I know Dax was. I'm not sure if Punisher we picked up from NGS or Heroes Lounge. I don't remember.
Sure. So tell us a little bit about your team. Like, with this being the first opportunity to participate in the Nexus Gaming series, you know, what's your team like? Do you guys do some significant practicing? Do you just kind of say, hey, you know what, let's show up and see how things go? What's your plan on any given day?
We try to have 2, possibly 3 scheduled practices a week. We'll go in, do some Storm League games together, try to get some scrims set up. We try out different comps, see what works for us, see what doesn't.
Sure.
Well, I have a question while we're on the topic of your team. Obviously, you are known as Darth Cherrywood, and we read the name of your team. It says waiting on Cherry. How late are you on average?
It depends. So the team name, as it sounds, I am normally the last one to arrive for practice. And also, since I'm normally the main tank, we're kind of waiting on me for the engages. And so it worked out really well.
Just
We had
all
a
the
few of those
time,
moments.
just waiting on Cherry.
Good deal. So tell us a little bit. The main highlight that I want to talk about is game number 2. I might steal a little bit away from what Murda wants to talk about, but you guys played that Varian and Stukov, and it was absolutely just devastating, and allowed your Zool to just kind of run over the map doing Zool things. So is this something you guys have played for a while? Is this a new thing? I've been looking forward to seeing more Varian coming in, so getting to see this as an opportunity today a couple of times was really exciting. So is this new? Is this something you've played a while? What do you think about that?
So, without giving away too much, we've played around with it. I have actually seen yourself run Zool on that map quite effectively. The Varian we like in certain styles, especially on that map. Yeah, don't want to give too much.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair.
It's the first game.
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, the Chromie, very effective in game 1 and game 2, got banned out in game 3, and then you guys bring in that Li Ming, and Li Ming was just hot on the mage damage tonight. So just a quick shout out there to who was it? It wasn't Chameleon.
Mr. Potato Head.
Mr. Potato
He's
Head.
our
Thank
MVP.
you.
Get his name right, Aero. He was the best player tonight.
See, even Alice agrees with you. Terribly sorry.
Yeah, Alice damn right agrees with me.
So I'm gonna shut my dogs up. Murda, take it away.
Well, no, let's just talk about it, because Mr. Potato Head played the Chromie, and we mentioned just really good on both sides tonight. Truthfully, was the winning team in both games 1 and 2, and then banned out in game 3. I think really Li Ming took over that slot that Chromie had for the first 2 games, and it picked up right where you left off with it. Mr. Potato Head by and far away my MVP tonight, but just go ahead and talk to me about the comfortability and like the comfort you have trusting him to play these mages.
Li Ming especially is one of his top played heroes. He loves her. He does great on her basically every game he plays her. The Chromie game 1, we weren't really expecting it from them.
Slot that Chromie
I think it did
had for
a
the
lot
first
of
2
work.
games, and
Game 2, we got it on our side. It did a lot of work, and we were very much afraid of them first picking it game 3, so we decided no.
that's pretty much the same sort of level we were on looking at it from the sidelines, and seemed to make sense, the early ban. And then I thought maybe we'd end up seeing the Varian Stukov again, but you guys do a similar comp, just throwing in that Tyrande and the Imperius. Overall it was enough kills, 23 in game number 3, to lead on to that victory. I just wanted to say great job all together on the team. It looked like you guys are actually working as one unit rather than 5 individual players, which is always great to see in Division D.
We definitely have our good days and our bad days. Last night we had a scrim against Please Clap, and if anyone had seen that game, they would have swore we were Div 7. It went real bad. So it was nice to see us pull it back together tonight and get the win.
And sometimes you have to have those rougher games to really, put yourself in check, recognize areas of improvement, and obviously scale up there. And, you guys ultimately pulled it out. A 2-1 victory here. You pulled off the reverse sweep, so fantastic job. Just I've got one last question for you, and then if Murda's got anything else, what was your favorite moment of the match tonight? Whether it was yours or somebody on your team or somebody on the opposing team, what do you think?
Favorite part, it'd have to be all of game 2. Everything just went really well for us. Everything clicked. We got to places on time, and it was a great game for us.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Call out the game where you were like, hey, point click, somebody dies. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Murda, anything else?
No, I mean, I think, again, just great work, and keep up those efforts. Keep with those scrims, because, you know, even when you're losing, you're always learning, and maybe lessons were learned in that scrim this week and led you on to a victory today, so job well done.
Thank you.
Good deal. Well, hey, listen, go ahead, and this is your opportunity for shout-outs. Floor is yours.
Shout out to all of my team: Dax, Punisher, Potato Head, Cam. Shout out to all of the teams in here that have helped us grow. We've scrimmed against multiple NGS teams, and it's been a great time.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for joining us for this interview and for the games tonight. Really enjoyed getting the opportunity to cast, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck.
Alrighty. Murda, I'm going to give you a quick call here again.
All right. Hello?
Hello?
Well, I turned off my cam, but I
Oh.
can turn it back on.
Either way.
All right, I'll turn it back.
All right.
Turned all my lights off, too.
It's NGS After Dark. Well, for all of you that came over here and enjoyed the interview anyways, we're with Nexus Gaming Series, including the puppy here. And so Murda is part of the board. I'm the head caster. And certainly stop by, check out nexusgamingseries.org, where we have many, many more matches. 92, I think, teams signed up for this season. So a little bit over 45 matches each week, plus flex matches. So there's a lot of opportunity to watch games that are being cast like we had tonight. There's the opportunity to participate. Maybe you want to join up, be a sub. Or, of course, get onto a team in the next season. I somehow feel like there'll be a season 9. I actually don't have a Discord command. I probably should get Nightbot set up so it shows those things. But if you visit nexusgamingseries.org, there is a button at the bottom there that will take you to our Discord right there. Murda, what do you want to say to the folks out there in Twitch land as we take off for the night?
Well, first off, thanks to you for the invite today. I mean, you've been going at it since 4 o'clock, I believe, 4 o'clock Eastern, and now we're at almost 12:30 Eastern, so it's been a long day for you. Applause from me. Job well done. And again, just thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun getting to cast with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure. You know, and I mentioned it earlier, but this is this game and the game prior, the first opportunities for Murda and myself to cast together. So it's really fantastic. Murda, the founder of the Regen organization, as you can tell, wearing my Regen shirt. I'm part of Regen. And there's the Murda repping the Regen over there as well. So glad that everybody could join us tonight, and appreciate you stopping by. We're going to go ahead and send you over to, looks like Fan is playing, so you guys get to watch some of that. So thanks again for joining us. Have a wonderful night, folks.
See y'all later.